Hi there, this is Vahid from VRF Education channel, and welcome to the second session of creating a chat application in Qt Framework. In previous session, we just take a brief view over how we can create simple chat application to transfer just text message between a server and client, and we create a sample demo for those applications. In this session, we are going to continue our development with some extra functionalities, such as setting client name or changing the status for our clients and see that on the server, and also see when server or client is typing in our application and check their reactions. So for these purposes, we need to create a contract between our client and server. Based on that contract, we're gonna tell the other part, now this message contained what kind of data. This is a text message, or my name, or even my status, or it is typing message. And in next session, we are going to see how we can send file over TCP/IP protocol in this chat application. So this session, we just focus on how we can create a contract between server and client and add these changes to our previous application. You can see we have some icons for our client, and the client name also changed here because we just enter something in our client application. We can set the status for each client separately inside their window, and also when server is typing, some messages appeared here, and when you type inside the client application, some messages appeared down here inside the server application and tell the server that which client is typing right now. So this is our basic contract for negotiation between a client and server. And I will put the repository address for this application inside the description part of the video, so you can download it and work with that on your local machine. And then in next session, we are going to see how we can send file in Qt chat application. So let's go and see a live demo of these applications, and then going to Qt Creator and developing the previous session application. If you didn't watch the previous session, I recommend to watch it first and then continue on this one. Okay, let's see what we're going to achieve till the end of this session. As I told you before, our main goal is to be able to send file over TCP/IP protocol. For this purpose, we need to do some changes in our communication way between the server and client. In previous session, we just transfer some text data. But when we want to create a full chat application, we need to define that this kind of data that receive on each endpoint is contain what kind of data. It contains text message, it's a file, or it's even some status things. For this purpose, I created a protocol, a contract between server and client, and we're going to talk with each other through that contract. So here we have our previous samples. The server here, we don't have any UI changes here, but in client we have a couple of other widgets. This line edit is used for setting the name for client, and when we enter it and press enter on the server, our name will be applied to the tab widget. And also we can set the status, current status for our client. Let's see what does it mean. I'm going to connect this client and also this one. So we have two tab widgets, and by default they have a predefined name with the index or with the order of the connection. Now I'm gonna change the name. For example, I'm gonna add my name here and press enter. So you can see on the server, the tab related to this client changed to Vahid, and for this one I'm gonna use Sarah. So if I press enter, this one also changed. So we have we are able to set our the name for the client, and we're also able to set the status. By default it's none. You can choose available. So you can see some green icon appeared in this tab. For away, it's an orange icon. It somehow indicates that the user is not available right now. And for busy, it says this user is busy. And you can also set it for the other one. Each one has its own socket. Okay. And the next thing is that when you start typing in these text boxes or line edits, and this one, on the other side, a message will be appeared in the status bar that indicates that the other part is typing something. For example, when I type here, something appeared here. So this is me. and after 1 second it's gonna disappear. So if I press send, you can see the message here, and this is just like the previous session. Nothing important happened here, but we just send message in a contract, not just as a byte of array. And in this one, if I press OK, this is Sarah. You can see it says Sarah typing here, and if I press send, then the message is received here. And also, if I type something here, message from server, you can see in the bottom of Sarah page it says server is typing. If I press send, the message received. And for the other one, this is server. You can see something typed here. Oops. This is server. Send. Oops, something went wrong. Yeah, my system hanged for a couple of seconds, and it doesn't important. So the message sent here. So these are the changes that we just applied to the second version of this chat application, and you can also download it from GitHub repository and check it on your own computer. In the next session, we are going to transfer file from the client to the server using this new contract. Okay, let's go to Qt Creator and see how these changes gonna apply to our first version. Okay, in previous session, we created 2 different applications for client and server, if you remember. And if you didn't watch the previous session, I recommend to watch it first and then continue on this one. We have 2 simple applications for client and the server. Let me run those applications. Here is the server, and let me also run the client. And this is the client. We have a simple client and also a server here. We don't have those options here that you just saw in the demo part. So we just able to connect to the server, and we are not able to set the name or set the status, and also we don't see any typing messages on each side. So we are gonna change the project and also add something to this project to get these options here. Let's just start with the client part. First of all, let's go to UI and add those widgets. I'm gonna break the layout and add a combo box and also a line edit here. Let's change their name. This one is Ellen, client name. And I'm gonna add a placeholder text, enter client name, and then for this one we just need to change the name CMB status, and also add a couple of items inside it. So 4 items. This one is none, the other one is available, the other one is away, and the last one is busy. So busy. That's it. Now I'm gonna put them together into a horizontal box layout and then place it on the top, move it a little bit down, and lay out the whole form using a vertical layout. So this is the layout that we just saw at the demo. Let's close it, and we just need to have client's name signal, editing finish signal. Editing finish means that you enter something inside the line edit and press enter, or you just lost the focus from this widget. Okay, and that's it. And also for this one, we need to have current index change. We need to add a couple of code here. And for is typing, we're just gonna connect the text change signal of this widget directly to something inside the client manager. So we had a client manager and we created it in previous session, client manager, and all the activity for client object go through this class. So we had a method here named send message. Here we directly send a message, a string message over our socket, but we need to create a protocol, a local protocol or a contract between the server and client, and we need to talk to the other part using that contract or that protocol. This is something different from UDP and TCP protocol. Those are our network protocol, and this one is our business protocol. So we need to tell the other part what kind of data this packet contains: text message, file, is typing message, or status message, or and the other stuff like that. So first of all, I'm going to create a class here, a new class named what? I'm going to name it chat protocol. This is a utility class or a helper class that's gonna help me create our contract. And also I'm gonna add this file with client manager to the server application also, because all the transmission should be go through these classes. So this is a helper class and gonna help me to create a bunch of byte array for each type of message. First of all, I need to create an enum here. I'm gonna call it message type. And then here we have text message, file message. We're gonna talk about it in next session. Is typing message, typing, and the other one is set name, and the last one is set name, and the last one is set status. So that's, and also I'm gonna create an enum for our status. Enum status. So first thing is none, available, and then no, away, and the last one is busy. So this is also our status method. So what are those helper methods? First of all, I'm gonna add a text message method that's gonna receive a text message, a text string, and convert it to something based on our contract. So the output is a qbyte array. So all the magic thing about creating our byte array is going inside this chat protocol class, and inside the client manager we are not going to deal with this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna create a message, text message method, and it will just receive a QString, input QString message, and convert it to a byte array, and also add the message type to that byte array and return it. So let's also bring the header file for these two to our header file. Let's also collapse these two enums, and I'm going to duplicate it 4 times. This time I'm going to set is typing message, is typing. We don't need to have an input here. For this one is set name message. The input is name, and for this one it's set a status message, and the parameter is a status of type status. So let's add the definition inside the CPP file, and let's go through the first one, the thing that we're gonna use right now. So here I'm gonna declare a qbyte array. I'm gonna name it BA and return BA. So how should I put or store the type of message alongside with this message inside this byte array? I'm gonna use QDataStream class, name it out, and it's gonna work on our byte array. This stream has a byte array in under hood. Okay, we can put data stream over a file or over a LAN, but this time I'm gonna put it over a byte array, and we need to tell it you're gonna QIO device. You're just gonna write to this stream or this byte array, and we need to also set the version for our data stream, and I'm gonna use my Qt version, Qt underline 6. So you don't need to specify the minor version. The major version is enough, because if you come here you can see for the other part 6.1, 2, 3, 4, they are all equal to version 6. So that's it. Now I'm gonna say out, put text as the first parameter. It's our enum. I declared it inside enum, and after that put the message directly here. Okay, So here I'm going to create a byte array and get it back to our caller. Our caller should be client manager method, and we will talk about it very soon. For this one also, I need to copy this one and duplicate it. So I'm gonna create a helper method or a private method here inside the private section, and the name I'm gonna give byte array get data. It's gonna receive a parameter of type message type and a data or a payload. Here let's just copy this, cut this one and paste it here. So I'm gonna say just put the data and the type here. Inside the text message I'm gonna say return get data, type is text, and put this message to that byte array. For its typing I'm gonna say return get data, type is typing, and nothing for data, we don't need anything to pass. For set name also we're gonna say return get data, it's set name and the name as the payload. But for the last one, it's because it's a status and somehow it's an integer value, we cannot use this one. We can change it to Q variant, but it's not gonna work, and we need to do a couple of type checking here. So I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna copy this one here and send it directly. It's set a status message. So this is what we need to have for sending message inside the chat protocol. Now how we are going to use this one? Let's go to client manager, and I'm gonna create a type of an instance of type chat protocol inside my client protocol class. Let's also bring the header file. Thank you. Now I'm gonna get back here. When we want to call the send message, instead of writing the message directly to write method of our socket, I'm gonna use underline protocol dot text message. It says I'm gonna provide a Q byte array for your text message, just give it to me. So it's gonna attach the type and the message together and return it, and we just pass or write that byte array inside our socket method. That's it. This is the thing that we need to have right now. So here let's do some abstract things. Alongside with send message, we are going to have two other methods, send name and send status. For send name we have a parameter named name, and for this one we need, let's also yeah, that's okay. Let's also set inside the chat protocol we have a status enum, and the parameter is of that type. Let's also add definition for this one here. So we just need to copy this one and say socket.write protocol. This time we need to use set name message and pass the name to that method. So it's going to create the message based on our contract and write it over our socket. And also here I'm going to say set status message and pass the status. That's it. So it's very clear and straightforward because we just did the thing in the right place. But what should we do for our send is typing? It's also another method, but it's a little bit different. I'm gonna create a public slot for this one. Why? Because I'm just gonna attach or connect this text change signal of our line edit for message to this method inside our client manager. So we have something like this. I'm gonna set the name send is typing. I don't know why I just copied this from above. And we don't have any parameter here. Let's add the definition, and also here we're going to say call the is typing message. Is typing message. Call the is typing message, and it's going to create a very simple byte array and return it. So how should we use this is typing? We need to get back to our main window. First of all, let's get back to these items here. Here we just called client send message, that's true, and for this I'm gonna say when the editing is finished, UI dot underline client dot send name and pass. Let's also grab it inside another line. Auto name equal to UI.ln client name.text.trim. So I'm gonna remove the white space around it, and I'm gonna say client.send name. And also for this one, I'm gonna say auto status. It's equal to chat protocol. The type is chat protocol status, and cast this index to the chat protocol, to a status inside the chat protocol, status enum, because they are somehow peer-to-peer. The index of the combo box and the item inside that enum, and then I'm going to say underline client dot underline client send status and pass this status as our status to the other part. So that's it. And also we need to do another thing here after these two. Before connecting to the server, I'm going to say UI dot connect UI dot ln message, and the signal is line edit text change. Whenever the text change, just go ahead and attach it to our client, to the client, and the signal is client manager dot on. What was that? Client manager. I forgot the name. Send is typing. Send is typing. That's it. So whenever we enter something inside the line message, it's gonna send it to the other part that I am typing right now. Now, before testing this, we need to do a couple of other things, and this is just the send part. We need to provide something when we are receiving some data from the other part. Okay. Again, let's also build the application to see if we have any errors or not. We are waiting, so everything is just okay. And oops, I'm going to close everything, and we need to do a couple of we need to add a couple of things inside the chat protocol and also client manager. Okay, let's get back to chat protocol. Here I'm gonna create another public method. It doesn't have any output, and the name is load data. So the input is byte array, BA or data. Whenever I receive the byte array over the LAN, I'm gonna pass it to this method and try to parse it, getting the type of message and load the payload inside appropriate fields. Okay, what does it mean? Let's get back to our CPP file and create definition for this one. So I'm gonna say again, I need to have a queue data stream. This time the name is in, and it's gonna work over this data. So I need to data byte array, so I need to pass the address of this byte array to data stream, and also this time we need to tell, we just need to read over this data stream. So let's set the version also. Here we need to use qDataStream.Qt version 6. Qt version 6. And then first I'm gonna say, go ahead, oops, I forgot to create a variable here. The name is, the type is message type, and the name is underline type. So I'm gonna read the type and save it inside the underscore type. So it's gonna automatically pick 2 bytes from our byte array and saved it inside the type variable. Now I'm gonna expose it to the outside using a getter method very soon. Here I'm gonna say, so what is based on the type, we need to do something with the payload. So if it is text message, we need to do something, and let's duplicate it for 3 times for now. Also for set name, and also for set status. So we don't need to read any payload when we received is typing. It's just enough to have is typing message. So what should we do here? I'm gonna create a couple of other method. Underline message, the other one is underscore name, and the last one is status, underline status. In each part, I'm gonna tell that data stream, go ahead and fill the data inside the appropriate field. So this, when we are dealing with text, I'm gonna save the rest of the data inside our data stream into the message field. Here I'm gonna save it inside the name field, and here we are going to save it inside status or underline status. That's it. Now let's create a couple of getters also for this one. So I'm gonna create just a getter part. We don't need to have the setter part. And also for name, again I'm gonna create a getter, and for status we also need to expose it using a getter, and we need to change the type here because it's going to use outside the class. So we need to tell the status enum is located inside the chat protocol, and that's it. We don't have to do anything inside the chat protocol. So let's get back to our client manager. Let's also collapse all the thing here, and here we have a ready read signal. When we receive data, we just read it all and save it inside byte array variable and pass it with a data receive signal to our UI. So we're gonna show it, but we cannot do this anymore because we need to check the type of the message first, and then based on the message type, we need to use different type of signals to tell the UI what you are going to have. So here, instead of using this signal, we need to say underline protocol, go ahead and load this data. I'm going to check the output. So we need to have another switch. This time I'm going to say underline protocol. We already, after calling load data, save the type of message inside a method. Maybe I forgot to create setter for type. Yeah, we need to create a getter also for type. So that's it. And protocol.type. I'm gonna say tell me underline protocol.type of the message. What's the type of message? Again, here, if it's chat protocol.text message, we need to do something. Let's duplicate it. Here we need to have 4 cases. This is for set name, and this one is for set status, and this one is for is typing. So we need to tell the UI that something happened, someone on the other side of the line or is typing. Okay, and we're going to the signal part. Instead of this data received, I'm gonna create 4 different signals. First one is text message received, and I'm gonna pass a message with that, and also is typing. It's just under our other signal. And the next one is void name changed, and also we need to pass the name with that. And for the last one is status changed. So I'm gonna say its type is status enum inside the chat protocol. So here we just need to emit them. For this one, I'm going to say emit text message received, and the message just saved inside the protocol.message method, or getter method. It's better to say getter method. And for this one, we're gonna say emit name changed. Again, the name is saved inside the protocol dot name method. And for this one, I'm gonna emit status changed and status. So we are not gonna dealing with a status in our client or the name, but as I'm gonna use this client manager inside the server, I need to implement it. Emit status change, and again the status is saved inside the status method. And for the last one, we just need to call emit is typing. So that's it. These are the method that we need to have in our client manager, and we need to connect it to appropriate slot in our main window class. So let's get back to our main window. Oops, not this one. Here. Here we have a data received, but we don't need to have it. So I'm gonna change the parameter and change it to QString. And then we are going to do what? We're going to set message. What does it say? It said data is private. Not data. We don't. Yeah, we don't need to have data. We need to use message. So we're just gonna setting this message, this new message here. So this is for our text message, and we need to change it to text message received. And the next one is we need to do what? Here we just need to connect is typing, and we don't need to have our set name or set a status, because right now we don't need to change the name or let's do them. Let's do them. Let's implement them. I'm gonna say go ahead and name change, connect the name change to main window dot set. Oops, something happened to my PC and one application run. Set window title. Set window title. If the name change, we can or we receive the name change signal from the server, we can change the title, but right now we don't have any option for that. And also for the next one, that is, let's comment, it's not useful for this application. Okay, let's get rid of that. Here we just need to wait for is typing signal and connect it to a signal. I'm going to call it on typing. Now let's declare it here. Private on private. No, we are inside the private slot. Void on typing. And then here we just need to add a message to our status bar. So we just need to say status bar dot show message, because we are inside the client and we already know that the server is going to type something, so we just add static message. Server is typing dot. And please show this for 715 milliseconds, less than 1 second. So that's it. That is what we need to have for our client application. Let's build it, and then we need to move to the server. And oops, something happened. Message type doesn't exist. Yeah, we need to also specify the class that contains this enum. So we are waiting. We're waiting. So that's it. That's okay. So we need what we should do inside the client. Let's go to server application. This is server application, and I need to copy those two files, those two classes, server, client manager and chat protocol, to this project also. Okay, here I'm gonna select chat protocol, CPP and H file, and then client manager, again a CPP and H file, and copy them and paste them inside the server application. So that's it. And let's get back to Qt. This time, instead of adding new item, I'm going to add existing files. So these are the file, chat protocol and client manager. So the chat protocol class is already complete, and we don't need to modify it, but we need to do a couple of things inside the client manager. So let's open the client manager. Inside it, as you can see here, inside the constructor, we received two different variables, IP address and port. So inside the server, we don't need to connect to anything. We just need to receive a QTCP socket, the socket that already the QTCP server provide for us based on each new connection. So I'm gonna duplicate the constructor, make an override for this, so I don't need this parameter anymore, and I'm gonna say here we need to pass, let's name it clients. Here we need to pass one other object, QTCP client, the client. So let's copy this line here, and I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna resave. You can see inside the setup client we instantiate this socket. So I'm gonna cut this one and paste it here before setup client. In the first constructor, we're gonna instantiate it, but in the second, we're just going to save it on the line, initialize it using the received parameter. So I'm gonna say socket will be initialized with the client, and then call the setup client. So that's it, and we don't need to do anything here, but just one thing. Let's do it a little bit later. Or yeah, let's do it a little bit later, and let's get back to our main window. Inside the main window, whenever a client connected to us, we did a couple of things. A new client connected, we attach an ID to that client, and then we create a new instance of client chat widget and add it to our tab client. But we need to do a couple of other items. And what are those? First, let's get back to our client chat widget. Client chat widget, where is it? Client chat widget. So we received a QTCP socket and we assigned it to our socket inside this class. So we don't need to work with QTCP socket directly anymore. We just need to use our client manager. So I'm gonna get back here, and this time instead of creating QTCP set, I'm gonna say you are an instance of client manager class and include the header files. So this is for right now, and this time instead of initialize it, we need to go and create it, instantiate it, new client manager, and pass the client or QTCP socket to the constructor that we designated for that. And we can also pass this as the parent for our client manager. So for ready read, we don't have any plan anymore, but for disconnected, I'm going to change it to client manager. We did as we've done before. We just connect the disconnected of client manager to client chat widget and make everything on the form disabled. Not everything, just the message part and the send button. We just disable them. So we don't need to have any data received signal here because we did it inside the client manager. So I'm gonna remove it, a little bit code cleaning. So here is client disconnected, and this time I'm gonna say go ahead and send message when pressing or clicking the btn send. and we don't need to convert it to UTF-8. We just need to pass a string. So that's it for sending message, and we need to do a couple of other things. What should we do? What should we do? Let's also add the message here to our line, to our list message, UI.lst messages that add item, and I'm gonna create a message variable. It's equal to this, and send the message to the client manager, and also add it to our list message. So we have both client and server message here. So we need to do what? Here I'm gonna duplicate it a couple of times. Let's get back here. We have text message received, and also we have is typing, and name changed, and status changed also, and this one we need to say UI.ln message, just like QLine edits. Just like the client, we need to connect the text change of our line edit to the client manager. And this is send is typing. That's okay. We need to do something for text message, but for name change and status change we don't need to do anything inside the client chat widget. It's just this part, and we don't have access to our tab widget, so we need to pass it as a signal to one level higher, or one upper level, the main window. And we need to create two signals here, so we don't need to have any slots. And also for is typing, we don't need to do anything here because we need to show some message inside the status bar. But before that, I'm gonna I'm gonna do something. So I need to create a slot or declare a slot inside this chat widget, and then call the appropriate signal. So let's get back to what? Let's get to our header file for chat widget, client chat widget, and let's create a couple of signals. Is a void client name changed, and it's gonna pass a string message. Void is typing. It's also gonna pass a message. String, and for what? For status changed. Again, we need to pass a parameter of type status inside the chat protocol to that part. So here I'm gonna say for a status change, just attach it to status changed of chat client widget. For name change, also attach it to client name changed. And I need to create some slot here for text message received. Let's get back to header file one more time, and inside the private slot I'm going to declare this slot, add the body for this, and also void on typing. So that's it. And also let's get up to the top of the form, and for is typing I'm gonna say connected to untyping. So that's it, everything is just fine. And something wrong with this. What does it say? UI.lmsh QLine edit, and not this one. I need to set underline client, attach it to the client is send this typing method. So here I'm gonna say on text message received, you just need to say UI.lst messages that add item, and let's also get rid of this. We don't need this one anymore. I'm gonna connect it directly here because I just want to add it. I'm gonna say go ahead and pass it to LBL LST messages and QList widget ampersand add item, call add item. So that's it. It says what? Here we need to have a const label, so we can also change this one to be const. And something went wrong, it seems. That, oh, it's not a slot, right? Yeah, it's not a slot. Okay, everything change again. We need to have this one back, and also press Ctrl Z. Yeah, here, and add item message. So we are not able to connect with that item. So that's it. And here we need to do what? Here we need to say. Here we need to say Amit is typing, and we need to pass a name. And that's a string. So something, the client's name is the client's name is typing. That's it. So the argument is protocol arg underline protocol. Oops, protocol underline clients, not protocol, underline client dot name. We need to define a name, the thing that I said we should get back to in future. So first, when we didn't receive any set name message from the client, we need to provide the predefined name, the client with the index client 1, client 2 for our chat widget window. Otherwise, we need to pass the received name from the client. So I'm going to create a name inside the client manager. Let's get back here. I'm gonna say, okay, go, and inside the public method I need to have QString a method called name, and it's const. So I'm gonna say, first of all, get the ID of the socket. So underline socket. We already knew that when we receive the connection, we attach an ID to that socket. So socket.property of ID, we did it in previous session, to int, cast it to integer value. And then I'm going to say we have a name, it's equal to something, and return it, return name. So what is that? I'm going to say if underline protocol dot name dot length, it's greater than 0. It means that I already received a set name message, so I can just return it, protocol.name. Otherwise, go ahead and create a string with that ID, just like what we did inside the main window. That's it. So just return the name, receive name, or some predefined name, the client one, and etc. So here inside here I'm gonna okay, what did it say? Okay, that's it. So I'm gonna say when is typing message received, just get back the name from the client and pass it to through this is typing signal to the main window. So let's get to the main window. Inside the main window, after we instantiate this and add it to our tab widget, I'm gonna do 3 different things. So we need to handle is typing, client name change, and status change, and we just handle the text message received inside the chat widget, but these are related to our main window. So I'm gonna say connect under the chat widget, and the signal is client's name change, and attach it to slots named client's name change, and I've set client name, and I will declare it very soon. And this one is status changed, and also set client status. That's it. I need to declare these two. And for the next one, I'm going to use lambda expression here, chat widget, client chat widget, dan nog de is typing method, and I'm going to use lambda expression and capture this, and it's going to receive a string name. This is the input parameter, and here I'm going to say this dot status bar dot show message. The name or the message, it was better than the message, so it's show it for 750 milliseconds. That's it. So let's get back and create these 2 slots. Let's get back inside the private slots, and I'm going to say client, set client name. It's going to receive a name at the body, and also for this one again we have another slot, chat protocol. The type of parameter is status inside something went. Let's type it and then status. So I'm gonna add definition inside the main window, grab this here, and that's okay. So here inside the client's name we need to do what? First of all, I'm gonna grab the index of the tab widget that emit this signal, client name change. So I'm gonna say auto widget. I'm gonna cast the sender output of sender method to QWidget. So I'm gonna use QObject cast, and pass the sender method. So I'm just gonna cast it to QWidget. That's enough. QWidget widget, and then I'm gonna say we need an index, and it's UI.tb client's chat.index of, and then pass this widget. So it's gonna return the index for that specific widget, and then I'm gonna say UI.tb client chat.set tab text for this index. Use this name. That's it. And we need to do the same thing for status, but we need to change it a little bit. So what does it say? It's a QObject. Yeah, we need to point it to a QObject. Oops. So here we have the index, and also we can use this method UI tb clients chat.set tab icon. I need to set an icon for that specific tab. So this is the index, and I need a Q icon. So I'm going to say auto icon, it's equal to Q icon. So where's those icons? I'm going to store them inside a variable named icon name. So I'm going to pass it here. This is the icon, and I will tell you what it is right now. And this is our icon name. By default it's an empty. So what should I do? Based on the status, I'm gonna set some icons inside resources. We don't have it already, so let me bring them, and then after that I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna modify it. So here I just paste some icons inside the icons folder, available, away, and busy. So let's get back and add them as a resource inside our project, inside the Qt template. We need to choose Qt resource files, and I'm gonna rename it to icons. So let's add a prefix. The prefix is just a slash for me, and let's add files inside the icons. I'm gonna say add these 3 files for me. So these are the files inside the icons/available, icons/away, and icons/busy. That's it. And here I'm gonna say the prefix for those icons are :/icons. All of them are located inside the resource. This is the resource indicator, and this is the path /icons/ something. Now I'm gonna say, based on the status, switch case status, if it is chat protocol dot available, do something, and also let me something. Let's duplicate it 3 times. It's for available, and also for away, and for busy. For each one, I'm going to say icon name dot append with appropriate file name. This is available dot png, and that is away dot png, and that is busy.png. And in default, when we just receive none, I'm gonna say icon name equal to nothing, an empty string. So we don't have any icon, and when we set it, the icon will be removed from the tab index. And that's it. That's what we need to have for our server application. Well, let's run it to see if everything is okay or not. So I'm gonna run the application here. This is our server, and I'm gonna run to client instance. This is client 2, and this one is client 1, and let's get the server here. So I'm gonna press connect on both of them, client 1, just as we did before, client 2. So what if I press typing here? It says client 1 is typing and disappear after less than 1 second, and for this one also, if I think it says client 2 is typing. So let's assign the name for them. I'm going to use Vahid. If I press enter, the title changed to Vahid, and also for this one I'm going to use Sarah. So the name also changed to Sarah. If I removed it and press enter, oops, something went wrong, and we have an empty item here, and I will check it. So it's Vahid, and let's do, when I let's change the status, none, available for Vahid, away, and busy. So these are okay. And for Sarah, available, away, and busy. They are not interfering each other, none, or available, away, and also available. So that's it. Let's send some message from Vahid. You know, see, it says Vahid is typing. If I send oops, an empty message shown here, so if I send it, yeah, it's true. And if I just type something here, message from server, you can see on this part we have server is typing, and if I press send, you can see the message here. And for this time, for this client, we can say Sarah is typing, and you can see the item below it. Send it, we had it here. And also if I server is typing messages, you can see something inside this status bar. 5%, yeah, we saw that message here. So these are the different ways for our new protocol between server and client. So we need to have it, and in this section we are going to add another type of data, sending file. So when we are sending file, we need to do some extra steps. but we need to go through that protocol or contract between the server and client. Let me check this. When we just empty this one, I need to have client with the index inside this tab widget. Let me check it. Let's get to the server application, and inside the client manager, when the message, yeah, we need to use our local name method, because I just mentioned it here. Pass the name received from the client or some predefined messages. Let's run it one more time. I'm gonna stop everything that we have, run the server one more time, and also run the client. So here is the client and this is the server. So I'm gonna connect, and this is client one. I'm gonna use my name, press enter, and if I removed it again, it's get back to client one. So that's it. And if I close the window and disconnect it, so it's appear here client disconnected as just we did in previous session, and this part is getting disabled because we should not be able to send something to a closed connection. So that's it. It's getting a little bit long, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Till next session, and sending file over TCP protocol. Goodbye.